As a meteorologist, I work with a number of banks and mortgage companies to help them manage their risk. With every major event, whether it's a hurricane or a flood or a tornado, they're looking to know how many people that might be affected in their loan portfolios that they need to step up and help in their time of need. So we assist them in helping all of their homeowners as well. So if you're building a new roof, especially if you're in a wind-prone area, it's very good to look at wind-rated shingles. They're shingles specifically meant to hold together very well in high winds, and especially if you're in southern Mississippi, you have that exposure to both tornadoes and hurricanes. So on my house in Ohio, I actually installed a new roof and I had shingles rated up to 120 miles an hour. I would say, you guys have had a lot of recent tornadoes and some strong tornadoes come through your area. Look at your house and how it stands. If you have an older house, look into possibly getting it retrofitted. You can get hurricane wind clips. Down on coastal Alabama, there's a lot of people who are doing this with their houses, where you can actually get ties that will move from your roof to your walls and actually keep your roof from falling apart in the wind, won't lift up in the wind because it's properly strapped down and tied a little bit stronger than a regular roof might be. The best thing you can do is know exactly where you are. FEMA has a website where they have flood maps, and you can look and see where your house is in relation to the flood maps. If you have a mortgage and you're in the FEMA flood zone, you're required to carry flood insurance. And if I'm outside of the flood zone, I don't need to carry flood insurance. The problem with that is, if you look at Hurricane Harvey, about 70% of the homes that were flooded were outside of the FEMA flood zone, and most of those people did not carry flood insurance. If you're outside of a flood zone, flood insurance is very, very cheap, and it's very low cost, and you can hedge against the risk, because if you have water coming inside your house, it can be $15,000, $20,000. You have to lose your carpets, your floors. If it gets up to your electrical outlets, suddenly you've got to call an electrician, or if your air conditioning unit is against the ground, that gets flooded. Now you lose your air conditioning unit, which of course in southern Mississippi, when it's warm outside, you want that air conditioning unit operating. So even if you're not inside a flood zone, it's worth taking a look at where you stand and look into flood insurance. If you're outside of a flood zone and you're in a place where your yard is already ponding a lot, you might have a flood risk. The benefit is, for some companies, they actually will give you a discount if you have built your home a little stronger. If you're retrofitting your house or building a new roof and it's suddenly more resistant to wind, you can contact your insurance company and contact your agent, and they might send somebody out to look at your roof and determine that because your roof is actually a little bit stronger now and less risky to fall apart, they might give you a discount on your premium. I say, from a pure scientific research perspective, working with wind engineers, so we'll take damage data we have from a tornado and we'll take their ratings of the damage to houses. And we'll kind of look at their data and look at the economic data that I have and kind of see what homes look like when they fall apart and what the cost is. The end goal of that is to try to make building codes stronger in tornado or hurricane prone areas. Sure, so our priority is the customers, and what we usually do is we'll go down for a week. We'll be down there for months at a time, but we'll rotate people out every week to keep people fresh and ready to go. In terms of what we do, we work with homeowners pretty much from sun up to sundown, and after that we go out to eat, go to bed, and start it all over again. It's all about the customer, but usually on the last day, usually a Saturday, after we're done for the day, we usually end in the afternoon. I'll take out the people who work with me and we'll go tour the damage. So a lot of people that work in the insurance industry don't actually get to go out and see the damage. And so I'll take them on a tour and I'll explain to them meteorologically what happened to the folks that we hear their stories all week, and we'll tour the different areas and look at the damage, and I'll kind of explain to them what happens. And what it does is it gives us a better understanding of what homeowners have gone through. You can never truly understand it if you've never experienced it for yourself, but by going and looking at the damage, and it just kind of, I guess, makes you a little less ignorant of what they might go through, because everyone is visual. And when you see that house where the entire first floor has been gutted because of flood damage, or the house has been laid flat and there's just nothing but a pile of debris because an EF5 tornado rolled through, it reinforces your desire to help people and want to do everything you can to help them. I think one of the greatest myths out there in terms of the insurance industry is we only care about your money. And the truth is, when you actually meet the people, and starting in the insurance industry myself, I kind of had that in my mind too. But once you meet the people who are working behind the scenes to help you, you realize how much pride they have in helping people and wanting to take care of them in their time of one of their greatest needs they'll ever have in their life.